Alright, so looking at section 2 in the Benco 2026 test 2, starting off with number 21. So the square root of 144 add 4 squared is equal to 2/3 of some number. So we know now, because of that equal sign, both sides need to be the same. Alright, so let's solve for one side that we know. So we know the square root of 144 is 12, and 4 squared is 4 by 4, which is 16, and that is equal to 2/3 of some number. So 16 plus 12 we know is 28, is equal to 2/3 of some number. So we know our fraction and we know the quantity it equal to. Now to find the total for the number, take the quantity given and multiply by the invert of the fraction. So we invert 2/3, then we get 3/2. 2 can go into 2 one time, 2 can go into 28 14 times, 14 by 3 is 42. So the number is 42. Two marks, you get 1 mark for getting 42 and 1 mark for solving for the 28. Number 22, from the digits below, form the largest 3-digit odd number and form the smallest 3-digit even number and find their difference. So we know now that odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, and even numbers ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Alright, so to form the largest odd number based on the numbers we have here, we know you put in the numbers in descending order to form the largest, but again it needs to end in either the 9 or the 5. So we could have it end in the 5, so that way we could have the largest numeral in front, or largest digit in front. Then we want to form the smallest even number. So based on the numbers we have here, it has to end in 4. But you want the smallest, so you start with the second smallest number, which is 5, 9, and we end in 4. Alright, and the third to find the difference. Difference in maths means to subtract. So 945, take away 594, and we get 351. 1 mark for forming the numbers, 1 mark for getting the difference. Number 23, a total of 154 erasers were shared among true friends Jake, Nicholas, and Leah, so that Jake and Nicholas received the same number and Leah received 5 less than Jake. Alright, how many erasers did Nicholas receive? So they gave us the total, and then they gave you how it was shared. It was shared unequally, so we lose unequal share. Alright, so we can use some bars here. So they said now that Jake and Nicholas received the same amount. So we say Jake and Nicholas and Leah. So we can say, let's say Jake received 1, and we know Nicholas will receive 1 and will 2, right? We're using the bars here. And Leah received 5 less than Jake. So whatever Jake received, Leah got 5 less. So take away that. So we know now when we add Jake amount to Nicholas amount to Leah's amount, you're supposed to get a total of 154. We know now 1 box add 1 box add 1 box is 3 boxes is equal to and we carrying across this on the side there, which would be the 154. Take away the 5. So we know 3 boxes is equal to 159. Alright, because it was take away 5 here, so you add on the 5 extra here. Alright, so if 3 boxes equal to 159, 1 box would equal to 159 divided by 3, and that will give us 53. Alright, 3 marks. So they wanted to find out how many erasers did Nicholas receive. Nicholas only received 1 box here, which is 53. Alright, the marks for this would be 1, 1, 1. Alright, so another way we could have done this was like this. If we know that Nicholas and Jake both received the same amount, right? And based on the information, they said Leah received 5 less than Jake. That also means that she received 5 less than Nicholas. So which means now that Jake received 5 more. Alright, so Jake was 5 more, and Nicholas would also be 5 more. So based on this information, that would be 10 more in total. Alright, so from this 10 more in total, we could have taken the 154 and take away the 10 more, we'll call the extra that they received, and that will leave us with 144. And 144, we need to divide that by the true friends, right? Because it's Jake, Nicholas, and Leah. So we take that 144 and we divide it by 3. And that will leave each one of them getting 48. But remember, based on this information, we know Jake get 5 more, Nicholas get 5 more. So to find out for Nicholas, it would be that 48 plus 5 more. And 48 plus 5 will give us our 53. So this is another way you could have done it also. Alright. Number 24, round off the numbers shown to the nearest thousand and find the sum of the numbers. So if we round off to the nearest thousand, we have 19,463. We look at the hundreds digit and the thousands digit. The hundreds digit is less than 5, so we leave the thousands digit the same and we replace all the numbers on the right hand side with 0. Again, we look here now again, we 8,932. We look at the thousands digit and the hundreds digit. If the hundreds digit is more than 5 or equal to 5, we add 1 to the thousands digit. So we know that 9 is more than 5, so we add 1 to 8, so that becomes 9, and we replace all the numbers on the right hand side with zeros. Tell it to find the sum means to add. So 19,000 add 9,000 will give us 28,000. Alright, so that's 2 marks, 1 mark for rounding out properly, and 1 mark for your final answer. Number 25. Nearly 5 carries, Nathan ran 1 3/4 kilometers, walked 2 1/2 kilometers, and cycled the remainder. How many meters did he cycle? So very simple. All we need to do is from the total, which is 5 kilometers, we need to take away the sum of the distance that he ran and walked. So total ran and walked would be 1 3/4 add 2 and 1/2. That should give us 4 and 1/4 kilometers. Now to find out the distance he cycled would be the remainder. It would be 5 take away 4 and 1/4. So this could change up to be, you're taking 1 from the whole, so that would be 4 and 4 over 4, because the denominator here is 4. Take away 4 and 1/4. Take away the whole numbers, so 4 take away 4 is 0, so 4 over 4 take away 1 over 4 will leave us alone with 3 over 4. Okay. So I want the answer in meters, so 3/4 kilometers. Mental maths we know is 750 meters. Alright, 2 marks. 1 for finding out the total, 1 for getting the final answer. Number 26. A total of 130 donuts was shared among Brittany, Julia, and Linda. Brittany received 10 more than Julia, and Linda received 20 more than Brittany. How many donuts did Linda receive? Unequal sharing again. So based on the information we have here now, they said Brittany received 10 more than Julia. So let's write Julia. She received some amount. Then Brittany received 10 more than her, so that amount plus 10. And Linda now received whatever Brittany got, which was this, plus 20 more. So we know now when we add Julia plus Brittany plus Linda, we're supposed to get the total 130 donuts. So we added up the known numbers together. So this is 10, add 10 is 20, add 20 is 40. So, and then 1 box add 1 box add 1 box is 3 boxes. Add 40 is equal to 130. So we know now that 3 boxes will equal to 130 take away the 40, because we carry across the 40 on the other side. So from add 4 it will become take away 4. So 3 boxes is equal to 90. So 1 box would be 90 divided by 3, and that will give us 30. The question asks her, how many did Linda receive? We know Linda was a box, add 10, add 20. So for Linda, it will be 30 add 10 add 20, which is equal to 60 donuts. Right. So that would be 1, 2, 3 marks there. Another way this could have been done was like this. So we know now that Brittany was 10 more and Linda was 10 more than Brittany. So Brittany was 10 more. Alright. And then Linda was 10 more, sorry, was 20 more to this. So whatever this was, plus 20 extra. So in total, this here will represent the extra to be shared, which is 40. So we know it was 40 extra to be shared. Brittany amount and Brittany plus the 20 extra to represent Linda. Alright, that is the total extra. So from the total, which is 330, we could have taken away the 40 extra to be shared up, and that will leave us with 90. From this 90 now, we know we had to share this among 3 friends, so we divide by 3, so each one of them got 30. The said for Linda, we know Linda would have been that 30 plus this 10 extra plus the 20 extra, and that will give us 60. Alright, so it have both ways you could have done it. Number 27, the cost of a bottle is 4 times the cost of a cup. What is the cost of 1 cup if Junior purchased the following items and paid the price shown? Alright, so they said the cost of a bottle is 4 times the cost of a cup. So basically, one bottle is 1, 2, 3, 4 of these cups. Alright? So one bottle is basically 4 of the cups. We have 2 bottles, so 2 bottles would be 2 multiplied by 4, which is 8. So we can replace this 2 with 8 cups. So in total now, we have 8, 9, 10. So 10 cups. So 8 plus 2, which is equal to 10 cups. We know now 10 cups cost $150. So for 1 cup, it will be the 150 divided by 10. Both numbers end in 0, so we could just cancel that. So 1 cup is $15. Question asks, what is the cost of 1 cup? Oh, so $15 is the cost of 1 cup. Alright. So 1, 2, 3. Number 28. How many squares will form the 10th pattern? State the pattern rule. So remove from 4 to 6. From 6 remove to 8. And then from 8 remove to 10. Alright. So looking at this pattern rule here now, we will multiplying by 2 and adding 2. So for the first one, it will be 1 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 2. 2 add 2, which is equal to 4. Then the second one would be 2 by 2, which is equal to 4. 4 add 2, which is equal to 8. Third one, 3 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 6. 6 add 2, which is equal to 8. So based on this here, the pattern rule was multiply by 2 and add 2. So for the 10th pattern, how many squares will form the 10th pattern? So let's check it. So for the 10th, it will be 10 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 20. 20 add 2 will give us 22. So 10th pattern is equal to 22 squares. Alright. 1, 1, 1. Number 29. Peter purchased 36 eggs for $72. He resold them in dozens for $48 per dozen. How much profit did he make? So, we know 1 dozen is 12. Alright. 36 eggs. Good. So now we want to find out how many dozens we got from the sale. So we say 36 divided by 12, which will give us 3. And he sold 1 dozen for $48. So 3 dozen eggs equal to 48 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 144. So he earned $144 after selling them. We want to calculate the profit, and profit is equal to the selling price, take away the cost price, so the amount he earned, which is 144, take away the amount that he paid for it, which is 72, and that will leave us with $72. So he made a $72 profit. Alright, number 30. The width of the rectangular field shown is 12 meters. Kevin ran around the field twice and covered a distance of 128 meters. What is the length of the rectangular field? So if he ran around it, that means he covered the perimeter, but he did it twice. If he did it twice now, that does not mean it's the perimeter. Only one time, running it around once, would be the perimeter. Alright, so first we need to calculate what the perimeter is. So to calculate the perimeter, we will take the 128 meters and divide it by 2 because we run it around twice. If they said thrice, we divide by 3 to find it one time. Alright, so 128 divided by 2, and that will give us 64 meters. So we know the perimeter is 64 meters. Now that we know the perimeter and we know the width, we can calculate the length. Formula to calculate the length is equal to half perimeter take away the width. So half of 64 meters take away the width, which was 12 meters. And half of 64 we know is 32. So 32 take away 12, which is equal to 20 meters. Alright. One mark for finding the perimeter, one mark for finding the length. Number 31. Shown below is a cuboid box and a cube. How many cubes can fit in the box? So if you're checking for how many of something could fit inside of a 3D shape, inside something, this is where we find volume. Alright. Areas where the surface covered, perimeter is the distance around, and volume is for three-dimensional shapes where you could fit things inside of a shape. So if you want to find out how many of this could fit inside this, we need to find the volume of this and the volume of this. And then to find out how many of one could fit in another, we need to divide. Alright, so to calculate the volume of the cuboid, we know it's length multiplied by width multiplied by height, which is equal to 16 centimeters multiplied by 40 centimeters multiplied by 30 centimeters. And this will give us a total volume of 72,000 centimeters cubed. Next, we want to find the volume of the cube. We know that side multiplied by side multiplied by side, and in a cube all 6 side edges are the same. So which is 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and that will give us 125 centimeters cubed. To find out how many of this could fit in this, we just need to divide. Alright, so number of cubes would be the 72,000 centimeters cubed divided by 1,250 25 centimeters cubed, and that will give us 576 cubes. So we know 576 cubes could fit inside this. Right, so a little cube here, a little cube here, a little cube there, a little cube there, like that. Alright, so 3 marks. So 1 mark for number of cubes, 1 mark for the volume of the cube, and 1 mark for the volume of the cuboid. Alright, moving on now to number 32. We said Kevin purchased the television shown and we sold it for $1,765. How much did he lose? So first we need to calculate what was the selling price. Based on the information here now, we see that it was less 25%, so therefore you know we made a discount. So first we need to find out how much is the discount amount. And to calculate the discount amount, we take the percentage, which is the 25%, and percentage is out of 100, so we put 25 over 100 multiplied by the cost price over 1, which is 2,500 over 1. Cancel these 2 zeros, cancel these 2 zeros, so it becomes 25 multiplied by 15. 25 multiplied by 25, which is equal to $625. So you got a discount of $625. So given that this is a discount, we know we need to take away from the cost price to find out what the actual price he paid for the item. So to calculate the price paid, it would be the cost price, which is $2,500, take away the discount amount, which is $625, and that will leave us with $1,875. So he paid $1,875 for the television, but they said later on in the question that we sold it for $1,765. So looking at this information now, he paid more than what he sold it for. So if you paid more than what you sell the item for, it means that he made a loss. So they wanted to calculate the amount that he lost, and that would be the cost price take away the selling price which is the $1,875, take away the $1,765, and that will leave us with $110. So you made a loss of $110. Alright, so the marks awarded would be, you'll get a 1 mark for the discount, 1 mark for the price paid, and 1 mark for the amount that you lost. Moving on now to number 33. Number 33 now shows connect the dots to form a pentagon with 2 right angles and 1 line of symmetry. So if we know it's a pentagon we know has 5 sides, right? And it has 2 right angles. We know right angles are perpendicular lines, right? So they meet like this. So we need to connect the dots to form a 5-sided shape with 2 right angles. So looking at it, we could connect these two here, then connect these two, connect these two, and then we could connect here and here. Alright, so we have 1 right angle here, 1 right angle here, that's 2. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Alright, the said, and it has 1 line of symmetry, which is this going across here. Alright, so that would be the shape. Number 34, circle the shapes that have more than 1 line of symmetry, more than 1. Alright, not 1 or more, but more than 1. So we know the E only has 1 across like this, the I has 1 vertical and 1 horizontal, the V only has 1 vertical, and the O has 1 vertical and 1 horizontal. So the answer would be I and O. Alright, number 35, Brandon scored 75, 84, and 93 in 3 exams. To get a grade A, he needs to score an average of 90. By how many marks did he miss the grade A? So in order to get 90, an average of 90, we need to calculate how many marks that is to get an average of 90. So it's 3 exams he's doing. So to calculate the sum, we take the average and multiply it by the number of numbers. So to calculate the sum to get 90, let's rephrase it, the total to get grade A, it would be the 90, the average multiplied by the number of exams, which is 3. 9 3 is 27, and just add the 0 to the end. So he needed to make 270 marks in order to get a grade A. Now the asks, how much did he need? Alright, how many marks did he miss the grade A by? Now we need to calculate the total that he gained. So total gain. We add now the 75, add 84, add 96, and that should give us 84 add 96 would be 180 plus 75, which is 255. Alright, so he gained 255 marks. So to find out the marks needed, it would be the 270, take away the 255, and that will leave us with 15. So he missed it by 15 marks. Alright, so we'll get 1 for the 15 marks and a 1 for finding out how much he needed for grade A. Alright, number 36. The bar graph shows the amount of money 4 boys saved. Based on the information below, write the name under each boy. So they said David saved $80. So therefore we know this middle one here is David. Alright, so this one is David. Then they said Tyson saved 20 more than Kyle. So based on the remaining 3, we want to see which one was 20 more than the other. So this is 70, this is 75, so it can't be these two. This one is 55, this one was 75. They said Tyson received 20 more. So therefore we know the difference between these two is 20. So therefore this would be Tyson, this would be Kyle. And then they said Michael saved more money than Kyle but less than Tyson. So he saved more but less. Good. So you know this is Michael. Alright, 3 marks. You'll get your 3 marks for having all correct. If you have 3 out of the 4 correct, you'll get 2 marks, and if you have 2 out of the 4 correct, you get 1 mark. Alright, and that's it for section 2, and we'll continue with section 3 in another video, right?